Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Blazekiller, and today we are back with another video. In today's video, I am going to be showing you guys 3 cool games you can make with this new dice item. Now, of course, this was added in the last Christmas event, the Christmas update, in one of the presents, and it's just a wonderful thing to add into this game. I think there's just so many options, so many ideas that I have for this new item, 3 of which I'm going to be going over today and giving you guys some bonus games as well towards the end of the video. But behind me, if you can notice why I'm not looking behind me, is one of those examples. Let's start out with the first game that you can actually make using this dice item. And that's going to be Chutes and Ladders, or you might know it as Snakes and Ladders. Now there are 2 other ones. I don't have enough space on my base to actually make them, plus that would take a lot of time to do so, but I'll supplement it with pictures on the screen as well. But this is just a very simple game. This is probably the simplest of the games that I'll be sharing with you today. But essentially, you're going to be starting in one of the corners. I highlighted them using Sinister Wood. It doesn't matter which corner. Again, you can make this however you like, though. But the gist of the game is, you roll this dice, and I'll show you guys how to do that. Some techniques for doing that in a second. And whatever you land on, you're just making your way up the board as so until you get to the last corner, right? And if you land on this, for example, or sorry, this, you can go up. If you land on this when you're up here, then it's kind of a chute, a slide, a snake, if you will. You slide down to this, and you can advance really quickly like this. You can fall back really quickly, fall behind of your friends really quickly. Of course, these are all games you would play with your friends or someone or somebody or multiple people preferably. But you can roll the dice in a variety of ways. You're probably asking, why are you teaching us how to roll a dice here? But you can build yourself a ladder here, and you can throw it off the edge. You can make yourself a plinko machine. I made a video on how to make a plinko machine a while back. Essentially, it's just another way you can randomize the dice roll if you don't find this suitable to your liking. Now, some other techniques, if you're making this game, you can use these for the ladders instead of these ladders as well to save yourself some time. Same thing with these posts. You can use those instead of these snakes, again, to save yourself some time. But again, this is just a general way you can do this. Use different types of woods. Hopefully you understand the gist of the game. If you don't, well, you can look it up for further details. But this is just one game that you can make using the new dice item. Again, the number on the dice is going to dictate how many spaces you move. And that is going to dictate as well the same thing for all of the other games that I'm going to be sharing with you. The second of which is going to be Candyland. Now, I'm not sure how familiar you all are with Candyland, but it's more of a childlike game. Nonetheless, it's still fun for all ages, I would say. Has a similar concept, though. There is going to be a track that you travel upon, not so rectangular like this. It's going to be windy and whatnot. And again, the number on your dice is going to dictate the amount of spaces that you go. And on certain places where you land on, there's going to be specific either consequences or benefits, power-ups, if you will. So very similar concept. Hopefully I posted some pictures on the screen. You can see generally what that's going to look like. And similar to the Snakes and Ladders, Chutes and Ladders game, with your Candyland, you can use a variety of different types of woods. So I have Sinister, I have Zombie, I have blue, red, spruce. There's just so many woods here, right? You can choose a variety of woods. These are all the woods that are in this game. I'm using actually one of the new woods that came in, the blue spruce here. In any case, let's move on to our third and final game, but of course I'll give you guys some more more game ideas after this as well. The third one is a very popular one, Monopoly. You all are most likely familiar with Monopoly. And you might be asking, how do you do that? So it's going to be a similar concept, but also slightly different than the previous 2. Of course, you're going to have a square board, a rectangular board of sorts, and you're going to move around the edges of that board, given your dice roll, and given however many spaces it says you should move, right? And of course, on different spaces, similar to these games, there's going to be different opportunities for you, such as building different properties or having to pay a certain fee. Now, this one's probably going to require a little bit more than simply a dice and having something in game. It might require you keeping track of different scores and different properties as well on paper, but you get it. You're still playing it in the game, and I think it's still a fun opportunity to have fun with your friends. Now, as I said before, there's so many opportunities. There's so many options so many games that you can play with this new dice item. It really opens a whole door of possibilities. I'm thinking of Sequence, I'm thinking of Clue, Trouble, Risk, Sorry, the Game of Life, Yahtzee. There's just so many options given the amount of players that you have, given the amount of dice that you have. Yahtzee, for example, is one of those games that you're going to need a lot of dice for, but it's still an option, of course, given if you have multiple dice. Now, if you're playing Monopoly, or if you're playing any of these games, for example, and maybe you want to have something to hold your place for on the board, specifically with Monopoly. If you've played Monopoly, you know there's some different pieces that you can choose from to be your character, and they're all very unique. This is why I have these options right here. You can use a variety of different things that Lumber Tycoon actually has, that have been, many of which have been in presence in the previous years. So you can use a jack-o'-lantern, you can use a candy cane, a bowling pin, a rubber duck. There's just so many options that you can choose. If you want to stick with all of these heads, there's different colors of these heads right here. Different colored balls. You can use different pieces of cut up wood, one by one pieces of wood to hold your place. But there's just so many opportunities. Hopefully this just sparks some creativity in you regarding this new item. Hopefully it doesn't become one of those things that sits in the back of your shop and does not ever get used. Hopefully you can use whatever space you might have on your base to create some fun games. Hopefully, again, this sparks some creativity. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn the bell on so that you'll be notified whenever I do upload a new video. And I will see you guys in next week's video. Peace out.